Demand for housing in the prairie markets, including in Winnipeg, is expected to slow down over the next few years. That's according to the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation's 2025 Housing Market Outlook report that was released this week. And joining us now from the Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board is Jeremy Davis. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now, you do have numbers coming in from 2024 when it comes to what trends we saw in the housing market in Winnipeg and some of the surrounding communities around Winnipeg. What did we see?
Yeah, so 2024 was really interesting year as far as trends go. Certainly one of the most interesting ones is on supply or listings. That's not the right one, but okay. The listings, so if you look over the last 10 years, 2015 to 2019 are kind of the benchmark for when supply was what we would consider normal. So okay. Since that time, since 2020 till 2024, listings haven't risen above the current 10-year trend line. So what's interesting about that is since 2020, we've set historical records for MLS sales and dollar volume and average prices, as you can see there, 2020 and 2021.
So this is what this graph is showing here?
Yeah, so the listing side there hasn't risen above the 10-year trend line. So on the same side, on the left side, yeah. You see sales 2020, 21, our benchmark years now. So what's interesting about this is if you can see or achieve these historical records at a time with less choice on the market, we can safely conclude that demand has risen substantially since 2020.
What do you think's going on?
So we've heard our mayor, Scott Gillingham, say a number of times that Winnipeg's population has grown by 60,000 people or so over the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that's all things being equal and supply being the same, averaged out, that's about 20,000 more people a year looking for homes. So
right.
That's
and we know that in outskirts of Winnipeg, you're seeing that kind of trend as well, right?
Yes, there's certainly a lot of demand outside Winnipeg as well. Steinbach led the way for MLS sales outside Winnipeg, and they also saw lower than normal listings this year. Okay,
let's talk about 2025. You have a forecast for this year. What are you looking at?
So, of course, it's not going to surprise you to hear that the impact of tariffs will be the #1 X factor for 2025. When we look at forecasting for the real estate market, there's a lot of different factors that come into play. Things like the job market, unemployment rate, the general performance of the economy, inflation, interest rates, okay. Population growth. So all these things play into the real estate market. And then you look at the impact of tariffs on top of that. All those things could be impacted, but we're dealing in the now. We don't have tariffs right now, so right. Our forecast for 2025 was based on no tariffs, so we're hoping cooler heads will prevail, but we're projecting growth of 6% for MLS sales wow. in 2025, and on the average prices side, we're looking at 6% for residential attached homes, an increase, and an increase of 4% for condominiums.